So, reflections on Deliveroo the first few weeks. So I guess I was nervous at first because I'd been out of work for quite a while. And even though I've always ridden my bike whenever I've had to go somewhere within the city, I don't have any kids, or I don't have to lug big pieces of equipment around. I usually am just traveling by myself, solo. So it makes sense to just skip the traffic and so on, just jump on my bike. But it did, being out of work and then thinking about going back into a job like delivery, working in a busy city centre, it did initially seem quite daunting, to be honest. Going from staying indoors all day to suddenly, weaving in and out of rush hour traffic on these missions to feed people for money. But so I guess I put off booking an actual session, even though I'd signed up, I'd been for all the the interview and so on. They'd given me the gear. Well, I'd bought the gear from them. I mean, it's good gear, don't get me wrong, and it'd be nice to use the bags on a picnic somewhere where I'm taking out, I need some hot food transported. These bags are really good bags. But yeah, even though I was part of the official Deliveroo team, I sort of held off booking a session just because I was worried about screwing up my first delivery, and I'd be stressing myself right out with all just the possible ways it could go wrong, and whether or not I was prepared enough for that eventuality. Just going through all these scenarios that could go wrong. I could get a flat tire if I got the right puncture kit. How would I sort of pump it up? Or I might have to get one of those gas canister pumps. I didn't in the end. I just thought, just from looking at other people online, it seems as though punctures rarely happen. And if, in the event that it does, I'll just deal with it then, I think. But so in the end, I just thought, sod this. And I just threw myself into it. And I guess in the beginning, I did feel like a bit of a right muppet, wearing all the branded gear, and you've got this massive tortoiseshell box on your back, and you do feel a bit of a bit of an idiot. But people have become accustomed to this sight on the streets of cities now, and you just forget about it after the third or the fourth shift. And so right now, I'm just enjoying the job. I enjoy it. I get fun out of it. Maybe I don't know what number it was, but it just sort of clicked. Like, actually, I'm enjoying myself here. This is great. Some of the reasons why I like the job, what would they be? Well, I guess there's that sort of, I wouldn't say like voyeurism, but I do feel like it makes you feel like you're a bit of a fly on the wall of the city. You're seeing, and you get to see all the nooks and the crannies of a city as well, or all the different parts that you never would have had a reason to go and explore. I've lived in the in my particular city for about close to 20 years maybe, but I've never had the sense, I've never properly explored it. So getting that feeling of fully an excuse to explore your own city and getting paid for it, it's a nice buzz. It's a nice buzz. So I recommend that. And I guess you also get to gauge or get a better picture of the type of people living in your city. You breeze through countless social settings, and you feel like you're getting a window into the lives of well, I'd say nearly every kind of person, but I'm not just talking about the people that you're delivering food directly to. I'm more talking about the people you pass on the street, you ride past, and you just get these. You constantly kept getting these momentary glimpses into their lives, how they're interacting with their friends and their social circles, and it all just builds up. You know what I mean? It builds up into one big picture, and it all feels very, very cinematic. It's nice, and you're just passing through. You've got your own goals and objectives. You're just privy to these flashes, these moments, which is nice. Right at the moment, it's nice. It might all just become a bit too much. Bit of this, like, it is a little bit Truman Show as well, when you sort of turn up at the same, especially if you book in the same shift. It's like the world doesn't change, it depending on what time of the day it is. You pick to start your, because you always log in and start the shift at precisely the same time. And if you're there at that precise moment, obviously the working day has its own natural rhythm and cycle. And there's this feeling, especially with it getting darker now in winter, the end of autumn, there is a sense that you always start, things are literally exactly the same. The people are exactly the same. Not maybe in what they look like, that always changes, but just their motives, the reasons for being there at that specific time, they're more or less the same. So this is very, not Truman Show, Groundhog Day I'm talking about. This is very Groundhog Day feel about the job. If you used to start working at a very particular time. So yeah, I like that aspect of it, the cinematic aspect, and I guess it also makes you feel very alive. You feel, I mean in the realist sense, your life is constantly on the line. If you're not fully paying attention to the road and what's happening around you, then you're toast, mate. You are toast. You will just get flattened. So you need to be 100% focused while you're on the road, and you need to be. It helps. No, it really does help if you're fit, if you're already fit and strong. But doing the job also makes you fitter. I mean, it does make you fitter and stronger too. So, and it's unreal if you just think about the normal way of things. Well, I guess the normal way of things is that people go to gyms, isn't it? People pay membership for gyms now and get like a personal trainer and so on. Or even if you don't get a personal trainer, the at the very least, you most people do a stint on such cardio machines as the cycling machine. You could cycle, or the running machine. They're sort of like two of the no-brainers that people just. Oh, and a lot of the time you go in and you see like two people go in together and they just literally just have the type of conversation they would be having in a coffee shop, just walking at a leisurely pace, looking, and just talking about tonight's TV in the gym. It's very strange. It's very odd. So, exactly. So, you know what I mean? Do you think I'm gonna, or do you think it's a good idea to pay for a gym membership where, if I did drive a car, where I'm driving my car to a building without windows and no fresh air, and I get to run on the spot for an hour and then drive back home afterwards? You know what I mean? I don't think so. Nah, I'd like, it makes, well, to me at least, it makes, I prefer riding around in the real world, riding up real hills, real scenery, and getting paid to do it, thanks.